right, y'all,
Got it?
everybody in the back ready to go?
We ready?
We good? Go ahead, Coach.
Charlie, you're older. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know if you're ready. Hang in there. It's late, Charlie, for you. Yes. What a great game. Number one, it's like so many of the Carolina Duke games. Both teams fought their guts out. Momentum changed back and forth. And what a finish. You go back and look at number one. I'm proud of our guys. They're resilient. We've had 4 road wins this year, and all 4 of them at some point we were in trouble with, and stepped up and played well enough in the fourth quarter to win. And good teams win on the road, and good teams win close games. And we've been able to do that this year. And the last couple of years, even as good as we were with the Orange Bowl team, we lost a couple of close games. So that's very, very impressive to me for the coaches and the players. Secondly, I thought our defensive plan was to stop Leonard running. He only had 120 yards rushing in the first half, so obviously we didn't do very good. But they did a much better job the second half. I thought the adjustments that our defense made and had the 3 or 4 3 and 4 and outs to start the third quarter was really impressive, and then held them to a late field goal that was missed and stopped the last drive. So we got to get better in a lot of areas, but those areas we improved, stopped them on 2 4th downs, which was really, really key. Offensively, we were sporadic the first half, but we expect so much out of our offense. And the biggest difference to me in the ball game in the first half was they have the 70-yard quarterback draw, and that's 7 points, and then Drake fumbles, and they score. So that's a 14-point swing, and that's a 30-yard drive. So that was the difference in the first half. And then the second half, we're so good at 3rd downs this year and 4th downs. I thought we had a chance to put it away when we were up by 10, and we stop them on the 4th and 2, and we have a horrible drive offensively, and we miss a long field goal. So we didn't do anything right on those 4 plays, or we could have been up by 17. And Duke's not a team that likes to throw every time being behind, and can do the 1-minute stuff as well as they like to keep the ball. They did a tremendous job of keeping the ball. I think they had it 10 more minutes or something than we did. Had the same number of plays, but they had it a lot more time, and they did a good job killing the clock there at the end until we were able to get the ball back. So give Mike Elko credit. It's an amazing difference in the team that we played last year in his first year as a head coach. I told him that before and after the game. The kids didn't quit. They kept working. So I want the Duke kids to get credit for how hard they played, the confidence they played with. And number 2, I want to credit our fans. We had a lot of fans here, and it's late, and they were loud, and they hung in there with us even when things weren't going very well. So credit to Duke, credit to our fans, and a huge credit to our team that I just love them. I mean, they're like teenagers out there dancing and screaming, and I'm saying, come home, we've been here before, this thing's not over. But I like their heart, I like their spirit, and they love each other, and they're sure playing hard together. Questions?
I feel like you got a little bit of an extra life there when they were unable to punch it in late. That would have put you down by a couple scores. And then your team showed the fortitude to march down the field and get that touchdown to Antoine.
Yes, Andrew, one of the best things we do with this team is 1-minute offense. And when there were 2 minutes and 17 or something seconds left on the clock with 1 timeout, that's forever for us. So I felt like we would win the game at that point. I was hoping that we would kill the clock and win the game. And that's tricky because you didn't want to leave much time on, and then I wasn't planning on leaving 16 seconds because I figured we'd need to score before that. But credit Drake for making those 4th downs, and credit Drake for the touchdown throw. He breaks contain. He's out there. He feels it. Antoine Green does an amazing job of coming back. I thought he was held probably there in the corner of the end zone, and Drake throws a strike. And that's a lot of pressure in college football, and a lot of pressure on those kids. and really, really proud. We've worked so hard on 1 minute offense and 1 minute defense this year because it's such a difference in ball games. And people are scoring points all over the country. I mean, it's just there's a lot of bad defense out there. And when you get them to miss a field goal, or if they make a field goal, it's a win. If they miss a field goal, or you get stops or turnovers, it's huge.
Mack, at this point, are you surprised at all with anything that Drake does at this point after all he's done so far?
No, I do want him to protect the ball better. But the ball that he was throwing that he got hit by us once, Caleb Hood ran into him, and then they hit him. That's really not his fault. That's Caleb's fault, and that's the offensive line's fault. But the first one that we got back, but he's got to take care of the ball. He's such a good runner. That's what people don't realize. He's so elusive, and he just finds seams, and he's doing a better job of sliding. And a quarterback now has a safe haven in college football by sliding, or the NFL. So that's their best way to stay safe.
Mack, you're talking about the 1 minute offense. How important was that drive to end the first half? You're down 21-10 and Duke's getting involved in the second half.
Yeah, it was so good. There was a minute 20-something, and we only had one timeout there. And that's just, we scored with 28 seconds left in the half against Virginia Tech. So we're working so hard on that, but it's so much like our regular offense. So I'm just excited to see them operate because they're really good. Josh Downs, unbelievable game, 11 targets and 9 catches. Proud of Elijah Green coming in and made a couple of plays. Caleb Hood's been banged up, and Elijah just keeps hanging in there. He's one of the most positive kids I've ever seen. He broke his thumb early in the year, so he couldn't carry the ball. He didn't care. Said, put me on special teams, and I think you'll see him help us here in the last 5 games.
Coach, you guys are 6-1 now, 3-0 in ACC play. But given some of these finishes and some of the areas you want to sharpen up, how close is this team playing to your standards, you think?
They're playing really hard to the standard I want now. We didn't at the first of the year all the time. They're playing with confidence. They didn't get bad body language and give up. But we still got so many things we can fix, and we can play so much better. And that's the fun part of this team. There's an upside here that we haven't even scratched, and we've got to continue to get better in the running game. We got to continue to not take sacks. We've got to stop the run better in the first half. So there's just boxes that checked, and it's easier to do it with 2 weeks now before we play Pitt. We've got a lot of things we can work on, but we do have their attention.
Follow real quickly. How fortunate do you feel given that sequence of the 2 penalties where they could have had game-sealing plays and obviously the missed field goal?
I felt really unfortunate with a sequence of some penalties we got. So that's part of the game. And penalties are penalties. So I felt like that they're supposed to balance out. I'm 71. They hadn't balanced out yet, so I need to pick it up. They need to hurry if they're going to balance out with me.
Mack, you mentioned it in your opening about getting the 4th down stop. You're there on the 30, and you're not able to do anything with it when you're up 10, I believe. I mean, I know it's hindsight. I mean, do you think you guys got a little too cute there with the play call?
I jumped on field. We make 4 yards or 5 on first down. We're going to be 4 downs, and we call a trick play. I said, it's not time to be a trick play. It's time to get tough and physical and run the ball. Or we throw it. We don't have to use trick plays. We score enough just by being us. So, yeah, I didn't like that series at all.
What was going through your mind during the review of the possession?
I thought there was green between his foot and the white line. So what was going through my mind is, do you kick it off or do you squib it? And they had 3 timeouts with 16 seconds. And that's a lot of time in college football, especially with penalties. So you get a defensive holding penalty or a pass interference penalty, it's first down. We had given up some big plays during the game, so I was not worried about the call, even though I told Phil and the offensive staff, get another play ready. But I was worried about the 16 seconds.
I heard you, Mack, in the locker room call the guys road warriors, which seems pretty fitting given 4-0 now and given especially where we were last year. I mean, what does that term mean to you, given how the season's gone?
Yeah, I think they were yelling that instead of me, but we talked about that last year because we weren't. And we were trying to get it to sink in, and so that's what they want to be. And again, it's college football there's so much parity that it comes down to a lot of close games. And to have a good year, you've got to win close games. And last year we didn't, and this year's team is to this point, and that's the difference. And that's why I'm so proud of them. They never gave up. They never quit. They've had chances about every game to finish it, and we're not very good at finishing it, but we're good at winning the game at the end, and we'll grow up. We can really learn a lot from tonight.
And regardless of what the stats are, we talked about this earlier this week, the defense came up and made a play late again on the road.
They did. You take our defense, had 2 4th down stops. One of them should have led to points and didn't, and the other one, and the offense didn't get points out of it, but they changed field position on the 4th and 2 earlier in the game, and then a turnover at the end of the game. So that's 3 turnovers, basically, and forcing a missed field goal. That's the difference in the ball game. And I did think they took everything that Duke did the first half and made them do something different the second half. And that's what good coaches do. It's they had to change the game plan completely and not let the guy that we were worried about beating us beat us. That's not who we are. It's not good coaching. So I thought they did a tremendous job at halftime changing.
Matt, coming into tonight, UNC had lost 8 straight prime-time road games. Talking about how you see your team as road warriors compared to last year, how big is this win and what you're trying to do in rebuilding the program, and how big is it for this team?
Yeah, I heard somebody say that today, and it's amazing how many negative things. I thought they would have said we've beaten Duke 3 times in a row, but they said I've lost all these night games on the road. So you can make the numbers do anything you want. And some of those games were really hard games. But that's why I'm so proud of these guys that last year's team, even the Orange Bowl team, the first-year team, every team has a different personality in college football. And we've worked so hard to score touchdowns in the red zone. We've worked so hard to do a better job on 3rd downs. We've worked so hard to limit some of the sacks. We've worked so hard to try to work to stop the run better and make some plays in the secondary. And we're starting to see all that come to fruition. Our kicking game, I thought, was good tonight. So I'm really, really proud of these coaches and these kids. We're really young. We're really inexperienced. We got a freshman quarterback that hadn't played very often. So really, really proud that these guys, nobody even heard of Elijah Green. And he jumps out there and makes a play. Kobe Paysour makes 2 or 3 plays tonight that were really, really important to give Josh a break. So it's just time and time again, we've got different guys that are stepping up, and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, we got time for one more.
At the risk of spinning another stat negatively, you're going into the bye.
That means you're going to do it, right?
Yeah, your record is 0-5 since coming off the bye weeks. Is there an approach change you think you're going to look at going into the bye with Pitt coming in after that?
That's not true. Oh yeah, Notre Dame beat us. That was after the bye. Well, that's not fair. If we'd have played Florida A&M, we'd won after the bye. So that's it. Go check those games. They're probably pretty hard games. I don't think I lost any after byes at Texas. So I like what we're doing, and Pittsburgh will be a hard game too. So you can add to that stat if we don't play well against Pitt. But no, I think we're doing what we should do. And Michael?
Yeah, you said every team has its own personality, Mac. How would you characterize this team's personality?
Right now, they're very confident, and they've gone from a team that wasn't confident in that 4th quarter at Appalachian State defensively to one that was very confident tonight. And I thought too, they play hard. They just play hard, and it's really, really tough when you give up big plays and you don't handle things properly, and you see a game slip away like it did tonight when we had a 10-point lead. It's really hard to stop momentum, especially in a rival game, especially on the road, and they did all that, and that's what makes me so proud of them.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Travel safe. Thank you.